Hello, you guys. How is everyone doing? I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications. This was random. I'm not gonna stay on long because I gotta get prepared for training tomorrow. But okay, I see everybody is starting to send the notifications out. Okay, I know you all are getting ready for work. Hey, Miss Maddie and Tony. Yes, like, share, and subscribe. Let me turn that music down. Y'all see, I've been sitting here just vibing, feeling good. We're gonna remember Young Dolph tonight. Hey, new sub and all. Shout out to BOKC. What part of Memphis are you from, love? Miss Gina, Clarinetta, King DM, Paula, ZK. Shout out to my moderators. Make sure you all put some respect on their name. They keep the bad people out of the chat, the overseers of the chat, right? To keep the bad people out. Okay, you're in Raleigh. Okay. How did you hear about the channel, Rome Allen? Hey, Miss Lily. There's some more people start coming in. Hey, Miss Kawana. Kawana, Kawana, aren't you from Memphis? Also, I wanted to talk about Young Dolph tonight. I still haven't figured out a way to um you just popped up in my YouTube a couple days ago. Okay, okay. Hey, Miss Rose. Hey, Georgette. Okay, you guys, I wanted to talk about Young Dolph, of course. Today is, I came on earlier and I was up early, but I wanted to get back on to, I was looking at a lot of his artists was still paying homage, to him. And yeah, a lot of his artists was still paying homage. And his fiance, and showing videos of how he was, he loved his children so much, speaking about how his kids would be taken care of. They will remember and know that he was their father. Mia J kind of played a little bit of that. I see the Ida May Foundation did something. They were out in the community, I do believe, today, and I think that this is a day that that everybody should remember, um especially, I mean, all around the world, but especially in the Memphis area. And the reason I say that is because Young Dolph was truly a king, right? He definitely has the characteristics of being the king of Memphis. I know they say that Elvis Presley is the king of Memphis, but I don't know anything that Elvis Presley ever did. I was not even born when Elvis Presley was around. But if you talk to anybody that was around, they say, well, he was real good to the black folks. He bought his maid's house and all of that. He liked his maid. Okay, so he paid for her house for her. But other than that, nothing else. It is alleged that he says that the only thing that a black person could do was shine his shoes. Right now, that was the rumor. Now that's what I heard my grandma and them say that was said. So I definitely never considered Elvis Presley the king of Memphis. Elvis Presley is from Tupelo, Mississippi. He might be the king of Tupelo. Okay, he just kind of migrated to Memphis. Tupelo is right down the street, but about an hour and a half away or so. But he's from Tupelo. Okay, so he wouldn't be the king of Memphis. Young Dolph was raised up in Memphis. He came to Memphis when he was 2 years old, okay, to live with his grandmother that was already Memphis bred. So we consider Young Dolph. He was definitely a Memphian. He considered himself a Memphian. Okay. Um, and so he definitely has king characteristics. There were people that came before Young Dolph that was doing the exact same thing that he did, but I don't know, or I never really heard of them giving back as much as he did in the short time that he was able to do it. Okay, so if I was going to say that anybody deserved that crown, it would definitely be him. You cannot just consider yourself a king just because, right? You got to have the characteristics of it. And a king gives back. Think about the people, understands that it is the people that helped to put, Young Dolph could not have attained the type of wealth that he had attained if it was not for the citizens buying his music and things of that nature. So he understood that, right? So I think that it just goes without saying that um he's definitely the king of Memphis. Okay, it goes without saying. But like I said, I remember 3 years ago when this happened. I didn't know a lot about him, right? And I think I've told this story before. I didn't know a lot about him, and that was around the time that the DA's race. It was the DA's election. During that time, um, September, my phone went crazy. I'm from Michigan. Why you say that, T? Um, oh, okay. I thought you was from. You said you was from Memphis. Okay. I don't know why I thought maybe it's another young lady that comes in here and that's named Kwana. Maybe it's another young lady. And I think it's another young lady. She puts her first name. I may have you mixed up. I got you mixed up with somebody else. And so during that time, Steve Morrow was not in the race, and I was working, and it was Amy Wyrick and Linda Harris. I was working in Linda Harris' campaign. She would have been the first black DA. Okay. Steve Mulroy had gotten behind Linda Harris and had told her that he was not going to run against her, even gave money to her campaign and stuff, right? Next thing you know, Linda, called and said that Steve Mulroy was getting in the race to run against her, right? I mean, that was such a backstabbing thing. But hey, he got in. He talked about how he was going to fight crime, and he won. Okay, and you know, anyways, I'm gonna move on. Okay, and so I called Linda to talk to her about something. And when Linda answered the phone, because Linda is the U.S. attorney, she's a U.S. attorney. And so when I called Linda, she answered the phone and she was crying. And she was like, before I said anything, she was like, I know you called me to tell me about Young Dolph losing his life. And she says, I'm so hurt I can't stop crying. And she says, my kids was telling me about him and the things that he was giving back to. Now she was like, that's what you called to tell me about, right? I was like, no, that's not what I called to tell you about. But when I understand now that a lot of people on the outside of Memphis was saying that Young Dolph was not cared for, because it amped up their vlogs, right? And so that was a lady who is a U.S. attorney that definitely had known about Young Dolph. She was running for DA at the time, and she was hurt that he had just been killed like that. So I started looking at my Facebook page, and I started seeing a lot of the people that are on my Facebook channel. I mean, on my Facebook page, my private Facebook page. They were out there on airways. Okay, they was out there on airways, and they were, it was a lot, right? And so I had not even started vlogging on the Young Dolph's case. I kind of paid close attention to it because immediately when it happened, you had people out in the street of Memphis. They quietly said it. Everybody, there were always people always talked about it. So I don't understand how other folks sit up top of, we saw in the Young Dolph's case. We gonna figure out what happened. Folks already knew what was happening. They said your guy and Juke did it. That's what was said from the very beginning. Okay, from the very beginning, I heard my cousins say it. They hardcore street dudes. They dare not get in it, but they would talk amongst themselves, and that is what the rumor was. Everybody said it. Okay, they said it. They said it from the very start. Okay. And so, anyways, I think this is why there was so much attention, so much sensationalism brought to the case, right? Because people already knew what it was and who was involved, right? I think if it had been anybody else, if people had thought that anybody else had did this, just any old regular person, I don't know if it would have gotten the same sensationalism. But because folks knew from the very beginning, or felt like allegedly, the people that were involved was involved. They watched it very closely to see if these people would be indicted. So Memphis didn't talk about it. Memphians did not really talk about it because when it first happened, I remember Thaddeus Matthews and there was another girl named Tawana um that was talking about it. Um Her and Thaddeus, the young lady who her name is Tawana. She and Thaddeus used to do a show together. And she was talking about it. And I remember looking at Tawana on her page, and they started threatening her because people started sending her, inboxing her information. Well, they was inboxing her information. Straight dropping them had not been arrested yet. So they was inboxing her information. She was putting the information out on her page. And Thaddeus, yeah, we saw, what Thaddeus was talking about it too. They started threatening her, Tawana, because I remember Tawana getting on her page and was like, y'all don't send me no more information. I don't want to talk about it no more. Because they had started to threaten her, right? So that was very early on when the damn fools was still out. Okay, so that's why I say, and I'm saying this for a reason, a lot of what was going on, these people led the police back to themselves, like JoJo Splat and all those little dudes and stuff. Um, all of the affiliates of Straight Drop, they helped the police really. They helped the police to know what was really going on because of their stupidity, right? So then I had found Co Figure's page, And I figured out, I found out he was in Houston. He lives in Houston. But I was like, wow, okay. So I really took to him because I was like, he's going in the right direction, because he was not afraid to say that what it was, right? Even when a lot of Memphians were reluctant because of all the threats and stuff, and there were threats, okay. um they didn't want to really touch it, right? It wasn't because they wanted to, well, I like both of them now. They was just scared to say anything because of all the threats that had been put out there, right, by the little damn twerps. And so yeah, shout out to Cold Figure. So yeah, he was one of the only ones at the time that was really putting the truth out there. He was not, trying to create a narrative. I like him. He's just a solid dude. I love solid guys. And he was just putting it out there, right? And so then I started vlogging on it. I wasn't getting but like one or two people on my channel. And so one day I was talking to one of my friends that work at the jail. And my friend was telling me that they straight drop they took the stray drop was trying to make some phone calls, and a lot of people had changed their number on him, and he had looked disappointed. Well, when I did of course, I've spoken about this before. I did ended up doing a video, and I was like, wow, I was thinking then, I was like, wow, these young dudes get themselves into stuff, and now he's disappointed. They stopped trying to mess with him early on because they didn't really want him reaching out to them, right? So I knew he had felt some type of way early on, right? And so when I put that video up, people really started. It started getting numbers, and people started coming to my channel, leaving comments and stuff like that. And then I started seeing other people, do vlogs on it, and there were some people that just kind of commentated on it. They didn't give an opinion one way or the other. They just kind of left it open, okay. And then there was some that was just putting out false narratives. And at the time, I was just so freaking naive. I was like, dog, oh wow, there are some people that's going in the wrong direction. I didn't know a lot of these damn fools had been paid. That's why their ass is going to jail. A lot of these vloggers are going to jail. If y'all only knew half of the shit that they've been doing on here, they asses, a lot of them are up under investigation. I hear my right hands of God on my daddy's grave. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. And so I was like, dog, I had no idea, that they were paid to put out false narratives. And I was like, okay, well, I'll start vlogging. And one of my friends, he's a police officer. He said, I would advise you not to do that, Tam. And I was like, well, I'm going to be neutral. If anybody looked at my show in the very beginning, I was neutral. I did not say nobody's name or anything like that, even though I knew what was going on. I was not accusatory, nothing. He said, I don't think that you should do that, Tam, because he already knew what was going on. He knew that the little Negroes was still out, what they was doing. They was still being sent out, and they thought that they was getting away. Okay. And so he said, I would advise you not to vlog on that case right now. Right now, it's just not the time. And I was like, I'm not going to I'm not going to accuse anybody. I guess being hard headed, like I am, I'm hard headed. I'm just going to talk about it. Okay. And, um, and I was very neutral. I didn't accuse anybody. I tried to leave it open. Um, you know, I didn't, I let other people voice their opinion, and I never tried to sway them in one way or the other in the very beginning. And so then one day, shortly after that video started getting numbers, he called me. He was like, I told you that you was gonna get a threat. They was watching it. That's how these motherfuckers was able to start getting traced. They were the ones getting on a federal entity. This internet is a federal entity. You already got the people, the feds was already involved. They was already trying to put the pieces together, and they helped them to do it. So why would anybody want to start threatening people? Why? unless they have some type of involvement or affiliation with the people that did this. I went and looked at it. The person threatened me uh just as good as they talked about you said too much. Yeah, you said too much. You shouldn't have said that. And your friend's not gonna be able to protect you. I promise to God the dude in jail right now for something else. I'm telling you, like I've kind of known quite a bit. I come from JoJo Splat and them little group. They had lost their mind. They're not he's not in jail for what he said to me, but he in jail for something else. Okay, because that person had this is a case that was already fresh and new. They were already threatening people. Do they think that those people that they were threatening, like Tawana Murphy and Thaddeus and people like that, did they really believe that those people were not going to put that stuff on file reports and stuff? You already got the federal government investigating this situation. And it wasn't the public they should have been mad at. They should have been mad at themselves. Somebody made them feel like that they were untouchable and unstoppable, right? So anyways, when they started messing with me, um that just kind of made me go harder. I was like, well, since they're gonna mess with me, I won't. Um, I'm gonna keep vlogging on the case, and then I became very vocal. And you know what's so sad? A lot of these vloggers have jumped on here. They've made all of this money. They've taken money from Black Youngster and affiliates of CMG to get on here and spew a narrative, and they know damn well they don't even like Dolph. Okay, so when people say, "Why did these men attack you?" That's why they attack me, because they work with they were being paid to do it, right? And so, anyways, to make it, because I don't like to talk about that, because see, I'll start getting mad again. Um, they were paid to do it, and so because a lot of them thought that I mean, you see, you go get the lowest of the low, and people can be so gullible. They go and get a lot of bots. They pay for a lot of bots, right? And they have the bots to be agreeable. You know, I found out that there's a sector of trolls that can be paid. You start getting these people from these third world countries and stuff. You pay them $2, pay a troll $2, per channel or whatever. Hey, that's a lot of money to them. So if you could start getting a lot of trolls on your channel, a lot of bots, it make it seem like you know what you're talking about, and that is what draw people to your channel. And so if they're being agreeable and yeah, I'm from Memphis and you telling the truth and people in the bushes looking at that, they think you really know what you're talking about. This is how they've been able to really trick the people, right? So anyways, hey, I listen, when I got on here, it was not because I love to hate anybody. I would have loved to really celebrate all of these young men, right? I would have really just loved to celebrate these young men. And I'm talking about the rappers from out of the Memphis area. But it's so unfortunate, that I mean, I don't really know how to I can't straddle the fence. I don't straddle the fence on nothing in my life. I just I don't do it. So I'm not gonna get on here and straddle the fence. YouTube don't pay me no damn money. I mean, so I mean, and even still, I don't really have the energy to give you all this grand performance. Okay, if I act a damn fool, that's just my personality. That's how I am. I get mad and I go off, and then I pull myself back together. Okay, that's just how I am in real life, right? But anyways, but I said that to say this, it's been a long journey because a lot of people, you have folks, you go and you kill this man, okay? And then you have to put out all of this money because you think you're covering a trail. They've had to all the money that people have had to, since this has happened, put into security. all the money that they've had to put into paying bloggers. But you know, a lot of these damn bloggers too for a damn penny. So they ain't had to pay them much to be a bunch of damn fools. Okay. Um and just all of the other stuff, you know, that has come along with what they've tried to do because they thought that they were covering up when the folks have been on their trail the whole time. Yeah, I worked in Crime Stoppers for 4 years, and I was told that the line was ringing so much with so many tips in Crime Stoppers that it backed the line up and threw the line off. You know what I mean? We used to work there. The line, it could be something that happened when the line would ring so much it would throw the system off. I'm hearing that is exactly what happened when Young Dolph was taken out. People already knew what was going on. You had people calling in, so many people calling in, giving tips on what happened. I'm hearing viable tips that it threw the damn system off, right? And so, you know, I think God gave a lot of these people the opportunity to leave the young man alone. They could have, you know, I think it's sad when there is such a history of trying to take out one person. It's very hurtful when you think about the amount of times that they had tried to take him out and all of that. And, you know, when they tried to take him out the last time, and he didn't die. I think that was God giving Black Youngster and Yo Gotti and Big Juke and all of them and everybody else that was involved the opportunity to have a change of heart, to look at that this is a human being, you know. Um and so people say, well, why you bring their name up here? The damn defendants done brought their name up. Why can't I? Okay. If the defendants have brought up their name, why can't I? Okay. If the police have brought up their name, why can't I bring it up? And so, you know, I think God was giving them the opportunity to tap into their human feelings, to see that this is, you know, this why let this man live. This man is a human being. He's got a family. There aren't enough words in the world that should ever be able to make you want to go and consistently plot a hit on somebody. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's so sad. I believe this is me as it relates to Black Youngster. I believe that Black Youngster has issues to this very day because he basically had to psych himself out to make himself believe that Young Dolph actually did something to him. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I've said it before. His Everybody else that knows him personally has said it. Young Dolph had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to his brothers. Not one of them. Not one of them. And he's had three of them to lose all of them, unfortunately. Not one of them. Okay. And so that's why I say I think he's having the hardest time because he had to psych himself out. And when you've been put on a mission to end somebody's life for no reason, I would imagine that you have to psych yourself out to make yourself believe that this is absolutely necessary, when the truth of the matter is when he has the downtime to sit and think about it, he knows that there was no reason for them to participate in what they participated in. Okay. And so now the day is the day of his anniversary. You know, I know people say everybody has a difference of opinion on, you know, because somebody had left in my comments, you know, do you believe that Young Dolph was the reason for his own demise? Um, no, I don't. But let me just say this: if he was the reason for his own demise, if there was any reason, it was because he wouldn't do what they wanted him to do, and that was just stop being great. Right? Because that's basically what this is all about, you know, being successful. And he wouldn't stop doing it, right? He just kept pushing. Okay. I'm not saying that Young Dolph was is innocent, because none of us are innocent. I'm saying they absolutely had no reason to take his life. He was not a threat to their person. Young Dolph was a young millionaire. If he was a threat to that person, he could have paid a professional hitman to hit back at him, right? After they had tried to take his life so many times, I think he had a right. I'm gonna say right now, if I had the millions he had, if they had been doing this to me, I promise to God, I'd have had one of them knocked down. My right hand to God, I'd have had one knocked down. Okay. Um. Yeah, that's just messed up. I don't like it when people say that either. You take a person, like if somebody sprang on you, somebody slap you, you don't have a you. I mean, you got a right to. I mean, I know you want to take something and pop them, okay? But if they hit you, you have the opportunity to start, fighting back. You know, um, there's, pick up some, because I believe in picking up stuff. If a person is a threat to me, but if the person does not have a weapon, you don't have a right to do that. And so they didn't have a right to take him out strictly based on words, right? Based on just words. Um so now it's been 3 years, and there have been there have really been 4 people in jail. Could have probably been more people in jail, okay? But it's been that I know of, it's been 4. And unfortunately, Big Jook had lost his life. I hate Big Jook lost his life. I do. I hate that. I don't think that it had anything to do with this Young Dolph situation. I don't believe that it did. I don't know, but I don't believe that it did. Okay, but I don't know. Okay. Um, but I hate that because Big Jook had children. Um, he had people that loved him also. And so it's very heartbreaking when you see these young black men that are just being knocked down and losing their lives, um, just for no reason at all, right? Just for no reason at all, So that's why you don't ever see me getting on my page trolling Big Jook, regardless of how I want justice for Young Dolph. I could never celebrate another human being losing their life, and Big Jook lost his life almost in the same manner as Young Dolph had lost his life. I think it was, they had pictures of him, which was, just, I don't understand how, if you're going to be standing out there, why would you take pictures of somebody laying there, and their mother kneel down over them in desperation, knowing that her child has no more breath in him? um People just really disrespectful and evil. It's really twisted, but there was a picture circulating of him. Like I said, regardless, I like justice. I wanted to see Young Dolph receive justice. I'm never happy about somebody, just being slaughtered like that. That's something that I could never be happy about, right? So unfortunately he lost his life. Young Dolph, I don't know what that was about, why Big Jook had lost his life. We think about Teasy lost his life. He was also a person of interest. There have been other people that we probably don't even know of that have lost their lives because directly being involved in this case one way or the other. And it's just all so unnecessary, right? All because it's been like a domino effect, and it's because whether it was directly related or not, because people just did not want to see the young man be great. And so it's really just childish to me when I hear people going back and forth about who the king of Memphis is. Hell, I look at somebody funny when they sit up and say, "Well, such and such is the king of Memphis." I look at a damn man funny when he's sitting up arguing about what man is the king of Memphis, when he ought to think enough of himself to say, "Well, baby, I don't know about them, but I'm the goddamn king of Memphis. Hell, I'm in Memphis. I'm the king around my parts. in my household to my kids and all of that. But you have people actually taking people out. That's why when they say, well, Young Dolph says, I'm the king, of course, he was the king. Okay. If he says that he was a king and he had all of the characteristics to be one, then he had a right to call himself the king. He said one day, I'm the king, daddy, oh, the king. All of the dudes around me have to carry themselves like kings. And I think that he was right about that. Okay. That means people around him had to be he surrounded himself. He wanted people to feel like they were a king and carry themselves like they was carrying some type of greatness. So for people to be taking folks out because they think a lot of themselves is it's just really sad. And look, um, folks, I mean, they still ain't the king of Memphis. You take somebody out, it makes you just because they're great, and that makes you the peasant of Memphis. Okay, when you taking people down because they're great, because they say I am a king, and you don't think enough of yourself to call yourself a king. Because the first thing you should have said, he say he a king, okay, he a king, but I know damn well I'm the king, so it's just two kings. Okay, it's more than it ain't. It's more than one king, but it's when there's jealousy involved and people because jealousy was it was really the root of it. And you see people doing great. He was walking it like he talked it. Of course, that brings a lot of jealousy. We see that every day, right? How jealous and envious people could be if that man was not making that much traction and having the goals. And I was looking at some of the video that his artists and stuff was posting up today. He was very boastful about you know um what he did for himself. He was very proud of that, about what he was doing for himself, what he was doing for his artists. He wanted for people to know, look, I'm here. My name Young Dolph. What's yours? You know what I mean? And sometimes um people have issues with that. When they tied up in 250 contracts, and by the time they get there, by the time they make money and it go through all of those 250 hands, they got 35 cents. Okay, so they had an issue with him being able to I think both of their shots were deadly. Jay Tatum, of course, Young Dolph would not have survived um those shots that Cornelius um put into his back. He wouldn't have survived those. But he didn't die instantly. Okay, that's why as he was falling, okay, Cornelius kept shooting him because he was not he fell. Oh God. Mm. So, yeah, I mean they were both deadly. Straight Drop got out, and he came when Cornelius had incapacitated him. Okay, that was bad enough. He knocked him down where he couldn't run or anything like that. Straight Drop got out and helped him to finish him. He never would have survived a high powered weapon like that going through your back. Straight Drop got out and made sure he wanted, because he needed bragging rights, that he put some bullets in his neck and head. And that's the reason why he got almost 2 life sentences. Okay. I think they were both more deadly. Hey, Nine Beats. And so that's why I say I think everybody should take offense, whether they mess with Young Dolph or not. Everybody should take offense to what happened, because this was just strictly a case of taking somebody out just because they was great. I don't know about y'all, but I think I know I do. I would think that everybody have aspirations of being greater. It ain't right for somebody to plot and plan to take you out just because you're great and they see that you have the aspirations, okay, you have the characteristics to go as far as you need to go. And he was making those steps to do that. They saw that. They saw it. And so they took him out of here. And so that's why I say I think that it's good that people are paying attention, but I think that everybody should be offended because there has to be a message sent that you can't listen. It should be sent from the community. If you think that you're gonna get into the industry, the rap industry, and you think you're gonna be taking people out just because they are great, you ain't gonna have no motherfucking career. And whoever label is you on that you're on is gonna be defunct because they're funding you. It's not that label ain't gonna make no money, and we ain't gonna support nobody on the label. Okay. Those are the types of messages that you have to send when things of this nature is going on. Um, yeah, the label won't be supported. Um, first of all, it ought to be, don't get me started. Because see, when you start taking down people that are doing things for the community, especially being that Memphis is a definitely, especially the inner cities, is very impoverished. That's insulting when somebody is giving back, especially if you're somebody that don't believe in giving back. Why would you ever want to help or participate in taking down somebody that is giving back? Now, Young Dolph is from South Memphis. There are a lot of other artists that come out of South Memphis. And but you hear about rappers that are in that came from out of South Memphis, um, grew up in the trenches, ain't gave a motherfucking thing back except for when it's promo time, and they participate in taking him down. Somebody that's giving back to especially the same hoods that they came out of. What kind of world do we live in? So that's why I say he has to always, be remembered because surely, there'll be somebody else that rise up that has king characteristics like him. I think with his artist, I see Wu and Snoop bands. They still give turkeys out around the Castelia area. I think they've tried to continue that and keep it going, but I know it's a hard thing when hey, you can't be out there in your community like that because this is the opportunity that they took. Oh, he gonna be out there in our community giving back. He gonna be giving turkeys out. So while he doing a noble thing around the holidays, that's our opportunity to kill him. Y'all, what's wrong with us? That's why I say people should be offended, even if they don't mess with Young Dolph. I'm saying they should be offended if they have aspirations because hey, that's why I know when people were saying, well, the people in North Memphis and stuff in Raleigh, the North Memphis and the Fraser area, they didn't mess with Young Dolph like that. I listen. I never in my life heard anybody in the North Memphis and Fraser area say that they was in agreement with what had happened to him. Right? I don't even think that they were. Okay, because there was no reason for it to happen. I think everybody felt like that was just going too far to take that man's life because at the root of it, it was jealousy and probably about a girl. Um, it's been years and we still never saw Dolph get shot. We saw Nipsey. Well, they got video of him getting shot. MAHH is that they got video of him getting shot. The people in the courtroom saw him get shot. They just didn't show it to the public because it was too heinous to show to the public. The people in the courtroom saw him get shot. They saw exactly what happened. They saw him falling. They saw when Cornelius came up behind him and started shooting him, and he fell. Yeah, they knew he didn't die right off and everything. Yep. But that was very heinous. His family didn't want it out. Okay. Who is Don Tripp, Stanley? You think he's next in line to do what? And who is Don Tripp, and you think he's next in line to do what? To be a king? And so, like I said, I think that it's very sad that this happened, right? And you have African American men that participated, helped to participate in the demise. I think I've said this so many times that Straight Drop had the opportunity to he could have gone far, because Straight Drop is a handsome young man. So he could have gotten the attention of the young girls, right? But unfortunately, Straight Drop thought that getting to the top, he could get to the top by, you know, stepping on another man's back and shoulders, right? And that's just not how you come up. That's just not how you come up. And so, I think, like I said, I think all of this is sad, but people need to remember this. And it should always, this situation with Young Dolph should always be remembered, and the mindset of people need to change. The mindset of the community has to change so folks can know that stuff like this won't be tolerated. I know that, hey, I do believe in letting the law handle stuff. But I do believe that communities should have something in place, whereas leaders can't be getting knocked down. There has to be some repercussions. If you think you're going to be taking out leaders in our community, and we living in an impoverished area, South Memphis and North Memphis and Fraser, okay, Fraser at one time the houses and stuff were, I don't think Fraser was ever part of Fraser was, but I don't really even think Fraser at one time was considered the hoods, right? But I consider North Memphis, Fraser, and Raleigh to all be one because they're right there together, right? Um, but there should be something in place when we have leaders and stuff rising up. And the reason I say that Young Dolph could be considered a leader because he had learned that independent game, and he was helping to create other millionaires within the Memphis area. I'll never forget that I was listening to somebody on YouTube, and they was talking about Young Dolph should have signed, some Young Dolph should have signed Straight Drop. It's so much jealousy that goes on in our community, and it's very disappointing to hear men demand. If he were gonna have Straight Drop around him, he should have signed him. No, he didn't have to sign him if he didn't want to. If he saw something that was lacking, he didn't have to sign him, right? And so I don't think that person that made that comment, I don't think that person would have ever said that as it relates to Capitol Records. I don't think that person would have demanded, if Straight Drop had been around Clyde Davis, that Clyde Davis should have signed him. Hey, I don't even think they would have put no plots together to take out Clyde Davis. But it's okay to take out Young Dolph because Young Dolph didn't sign Straight Drop. Okay? I have issues with stuff like that, right? And so that's why I say, this has to be remembered, and I do think that something should be put in place. And first, it's going to have to start with us changing our mindset as it relates to a lot of this stuff. When we start seeing labels that are continuously having artists on their labels that are committing genocide, that's consistently that's been named in hits of human beings and things of that nature. Hey, what we're going to have to do is get to a point where we don't support those labels. We're going to have to get to a point where we don't support those labels, right? Because we have there's strength in numbers. We have the power to start to dismantle a lot of these entities that are put together. Okay. Um, my grandmother used to say, "A fool is a fool, but a fool with money is a real fool." And so you get a bunch of these damn fools around here that ain't used to nothing, and we mess around and support them and continuously support them and help them to get richer and richer. They become damn fools. They become real fools. Okay, because they ain't used to nothing. They ain't humble. They think their money makes them God because they start getting around low vibrational, weak people that's willing to do anything for some money. Anytime you go and you plan and plot on somebody's life for some money, you garbage. Okay? You strictly garbage, and you will do anything. You'll do anything. It ain't nothing you won't do. Your own mama and kids ain't safe. When you'll go and take somebody's life that's done nothing to you strictly for some money, you are strictly garbage, and your mama and children ain't safe. Okay, from you. Hold on, y'all. I'm missing comments. Let me go back up. As far as rap, as far as hip hop, he's a rap artist from Memphis. Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard of Don Tripp. Daryl says geographically, them areas north Memphis. Yeah, I agree, Daryl. Um, he says the mofo's being smart now. Do y'all see this ish? They said the industry is funny. He says, but Dolph was a great person. The hate was real. Pray for his children. Yeah, I'm sure it's always hard around the holidays when people should be getting ready to celebrate with their family. Um, you know, hey, to try to make their kids happy, put smiles on their children's faces. His family is sad because they're reminded of this is the time of year, a week before Thanksgiving, a month before Christmas. They take this man's life for $800. Okay, it's just sad. It really is just sad. So, like I say, that's why I say we should be offended with a lot of what has happened when these young men lose their lives because they're in the rap game, and we should be offended when beefs are perpetuated by record labels and all of that. We should be offended when we see CEOs funding killers. We should be offended by that. Yeah, make sure you all hit the like button. We from Memphis, true enough, but I sure do appreciate your pronouncing my name the correct way, Miss T. What that, Daryl? What do they call you, Dal? You know, I know how they do it in Memphis. Your name is Daryl. What do they call you, Dal? Dal. What's up, Dal? um, Diane's what up, love? How your Sunday going so far? That's how they say it. What's up, Dal? Anyway, y'all, rest in peace to Young Dolph. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. Hopefully, we'll have some people to um, model what he was doing as it relates to creating real generational wealth. Not the illusion of it, but creating real generational wealth, and really teaching these artists the independent route of getting the majority of their money. so that they are not owned by anybody. Because I don't think nobody else doing it in real life. Mm-hmm. Baby, I'm scared of him. Y'all make sure you all, it's 121 people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button for me, okay? I would appreciate that so much. If you haven't hit the like button, take your finger and hit the like button. Rochelle says, I don't see how the people involved sleep at night. Dang. Stanley says, but you're right, though, Tamara. People will do the unthinkable for money, especially when we reside in an impoverished city like Memphis. This is the jungle. That's true. But there has to be some repercussions. There has to be a deterrence. People know that they ain't gonna be able to, if the police don't get you, you ain't gonna be able to come back to the hood and spend your money because you're gonna go missing. If they know that they're okay, let me stop. It has to be a deterrence put in place. But I'm gonna tell you something. Young Dolph's case was solved before it even happened. So, what kind of gratification was gotten? Straight Drop didn't get the he didn't get the contract he thought he was gonna get. He didn't get to be the next star, next big star on CMG like he was told he was. The lawyer got all his money. So, I mean, why? What even if he had, I mean, could he truly live with himself even if he had gotten away with it? I mean, that's just plain evil. Would he have been able to live with himself in peace? I mean, without having any um remorse, no sleepless nights knowing that you took this man's life and killed him basically for nothing. Because when you kill somebody for money, you kill them for nothing. He says, none, that brother is gone. Diane Bowens, ain't no telling what you might stumble across on the Lust Demon show. Nikolai says CMG only represents a promotion of negative energy and shadiness. I agree. I agree. It never should have happened. They know that it should not have happened. He young and dumb. Long as he was having fun, he wouldn't have had any remorse. That's true. And to see him in court. Hello? Oh, nothing much. you you must got something to say. You couldn't wait for me to put the number up.
Oh, I got connection to all the lines. What's going on, everybody? Happy Dolph Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Dolph Day. So what you think about what I was just saying?
What, talking about them killing him?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they were wrong, but I think they got them locked up now. We ain't got to worry. We can go to the court.
Oh, they ain't got everybody locked up. I know you trying to omit somebody. You trying to omit Dottie.
Why we always gotta want to put Dottie in the mix?
But it's funny because before Juke passed away, you were saying that he wasn't involved.
Ooh, I've never said that.
That's what you were saying, Cypress.
No, I said no. Y'all was saying that they plotted it together. I was like, oh God, everyone ain't on fly. He don't like people like he don't deal with people like me.
Well, then why he pay for the lawyers?
I don't know who thought of that bullshit.
Yeah, why would he pay for lawyers if he for something that he didn't want nothing to do with?
I don't know why they did that dumb shit. I don't, I don't know why they did that. God was the most stupid thing he ever done. I'd be like, look, bro, I'm praying for you.
Well, he did it because he was involved. Yeah, I can't get enough of y'all ever have times when you start binging on certain old school artists? Stevie Wonder's old school songs I've been binging on. All I do is think of you and all of those songs like that. I mean, it takes me back to growing when I was growing up in the '80s and stuff when I was a little girl. I mean, I just it's something about those
Yeah,
songs.
that was good music that you was
It's
almost made to listen to growing up. And nowadays, people just got kids, they don't even care.
so what you think gonna become of all of this, Cypress? What you think gonna happen?
People gonna die, and more people gonna die, and more people gonna die.
You think more people gonna die even though they know the feds watching them? I don't think you think they be crazy enough to be still out there crashing.
Of course, we in Memphis. You in Memphis?
Well, why you think more people gonna die?
Because there has to be more people to die. Everybody gonna want to get back.
You think so?
I know so.
Mm. I don't know what to say.
I know what to say. Be prepared and get low. Cause the bullets is coming.
I'm trying to understand who gonna get hit though.
We don't know. But what we know is it's gonna be some niggas that get hit.
I don't know, Cypress. I don't know, Cypress. Y'all know I had to get my cashews. I love cashews. Cypress, I'm still trying to understand why you think it's still gonna be some bodies.
Come here.
It seems like the young men just been trying to pick up the pieces and get on with their life lately.
Oh yeah. I hope that I made it to MJL was here.
mm. They said, Cypress, you gotta go back to the short bus.
Okay. As long as y'all gonna follow me.
If you think God is not involved.
Well, I ain't gonna say he didn't know, but I ain't gonna say he orchestrated. No.
Mm. I mean, well, why he pay for attorneys? I wouldn't pay for no attorneys.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something over there is trying to deal with. I don't know.
You said maybe what?
Somebody, I don't know. Maybe he just been nice.
Yeah, Key Clock has been quiet. Mm-hmm. Cypress, don't you think that was wrong for what they did to that boy? Cypress. Cypress. Y'all, Cypress called me and went to sleep on the phone. A hot mess. So, mm, mm, mm. Oh, maybe he did get a call. I guess he did. Hello?
Yeah. I start believing God had something to do with it when you start believing paper around ain't squeaky clean neither.
I didn't say they were innocent, but remember you was trying to insinuate they had something to do with Young Dolph's death. I told you they didn't.
But now, I want to talk about rappers.
Oh, okay.
And we ain't gonna say they probably ain't dropped a bag or two for the other side. Even though he
I ain't never heard them boys drop no bag on nobody. What you think happens to Big Juke?
I think somebody dropped the bag on him.
I knew you were gonna say that. Well, who you think dropped the bag on him?
I don't know. Probably who you don't think from.
I don't think Paper Rock dropped no bag on Juke.
Who knows? It could have been both sides that dropped the bag. Ain't no telling.
Mm. Mm-mm. Well, his security was out there.
Yep. He got shot, and then he got fired. It's cold game, man. Cold game.
Well, he probably wasn't gonna go back anyways.
Yeah, he survived a bullet to the dome, you see.
He got shot in the head too. Well, he probably wasn't gonna go back. But my point is, his security was out there. His security saw what happened.
Yeah. The kid, you know, man. The kid ain't worth a damn. They got switches out there.
What I'm saying is, he saw exactly what happened.
Yeah, you can see exactly what happened when them switches in the fire. It don't matter about what happened. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I'm sure he knows what happened leading up to that. I'm saying moments leading up to that, and they gotta. I'm sure that he would know what happened.
He ain't gonna never testify.
You don't think he'll never say?
No, I would. I got fired. Why didn't you tell me about what happened for?
Was he a professional security guy? Like, was he a paid security man?
He probably was paid. I don't know about professional.
I'm scared to say because he might, say something. But who knows? No, nobody knows who his security guy was. Nobody has said anything about it.
Well, people know. They just don't talk about it.
Well, for his safety, it would be best for them not to talk about it.
Yeah, hate to see him get shot in the head.
How you know he got shot in the head?
And you know. You know. I mean, yeah. We praying for you, man. I just hate he got shot inside. We probably gonna kill him.
Well, it's a good thing he survived. Well, it just goes to show that they weren't shooting at him.
Yeah, they wasn't shooting at
They
they
it
wasn't
now it just goes to show that he was not the target, else they would have killed him. They wouldn't have left him alive.
I don't remember what he did. That guy said, I believe this boy.
You
Yes,
said
it.
you said what now?
I don't remember why he did. The guy said, I believe my earth for a while.
Diane said, why they mad at the security guard? He probably did all he could do.
I don't know, man. I don't know why they got him, but I know they fired him. Like, told out he made
Mm.
yeah, they fired him.
Oh wow. Well, he
That's a
probably
cold one, man.
well who was he gonna be a security for if Juke was no longer there?
Nobody.
I don't know. My spirit tells me Juke. I wonder if my spirit tells me Juke might have. I don't know. Maybe he knew the people that did this to him.
Mm. Of course he knew the people who did it to him. 9 times out of 10, if somebody killed one of them, you know exactly who you.
Well, I mean, you know, he put on his Facebook, I mean his Instagram page the day before. You could tell he was worried. Rather than face me, you rather snake me. That's personal right there.
Yeah, well, he knew he was gonna go.
Well, he knew he was going to be indicted also.
Man, he knew he was gonna get sent to kill him. So,
You said what now?
he knew it was gonna be a killing somewhere down the line. He did. He was damn fool. Man, look. If I know I'm gonna create some chaos like this, I'm gonna get gone. I ain't coming back around.
Well, Juke was just doing what he was told to do.
So move. Why? His mother told
He
him to
was
move.
somebody. So he was just doing what he was told to do. Get rid of Young Dolph. See that through. That's what I think. That's what I believe.
So what you saying? He was told to make sure you got mouth out of him, and
Yeah,
then they get him out of here to clear the way for them.
yeah. They got him out of here because you know couldn't have him. Telling on the person that told him to do it. Maybe. I don't know. But like I said, I was told that what happened to Juke had nothing to do with the Young Dolph situation.
Right.
That was early on.
Yeah. Do you believe it?
That's right, Diane. The number two guy answers to the number one guy.
The man from robbing the number one guy?
She wasn't at first. So
I thought
is she the
robbing.
CEO now? Ain't she the CEO of the label now?
And then this is what I heard. Yeah, she rocking good chains, so she got to be some type of CEO status.
Okay, he trying to put people around him he trusts.
Yeah. Now be her what the lady couldn't be killed.
Hmm. I mean, well, he could have got anybody to do that. Why didn't he just hire some people that know how to do it?
No, man. You want to make sure the little sister is safe. I think that's a good thing he's doing.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we know that it's a reason for it. It's not because she qualified. It, I, I'm not saying that she won't do a good job. I'm just saying that there's definitely an underlying reason for it.
Oh, you
Because she
think
could
so?
be qualified, but she's I don't. I mean, I don't know his sister, but I would think that she has never had a position like that before. There are people that probably would have been loyal to him on the outside of Memphis that he could have hired for that position.
Nah, I think he put her in there so that way he can see how he press his button and then yeah. Well, I don't know, I don't tell. He probably just want to take a break from it for a while and then do some other stuff. Who knows?
Well, that's true. Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He been doing it for years, so he probably want to take a break.
Well, I mean, I guess it's all just the timing of it. Maybe he's trying to get everything out of his name, so because he know he got some lawsuits coming.
Yeah, once he get it out his name, he ain't got to worry about it.
Now he still got to worry about it because when it happened, it was in his name.
Yeah. So do you think they? Okay, so now do you think they gonna sue the Justice State? Okay, I mean, well, let me say this: if you was me and Jay, would you sue the Justice State?
Yeah, she could sue the Jukes estate. She could sue definitely CMG, and I believe she could sue Yo Gotti personally
Why?
because he promised straight drop a deal. Did you hear what Terrence Gangster Williams said? Terrence Gangster Williams says that Govan sent him the paperwork. He says that he said Govan sent him the paperwork and he confirmed because remember I've been saying it the whole time that Straight Drop was cooperating in the beginning.
Mm,
Now that's what Terrence Gangster Williams said.
mm. But then they tell her, I said, I ain't hear from Go Back. So you want on the phone or nothing?
Well, he probably wouldn't answer the phone. He go to court this week, don't it? So
Yeah.
I'm sure his head is in another space. He probably don't want to talk to nobody.
Quit. You in the chat, quit. You know you in the chat.
I saw his brother. It's Stanley. Are you still in the chat? It's a guy in the chat that say he is brother. He say
That's
he
quit.
says he's his brother.
And that's quit. Ain't fooling me.
I don't I don't know about that because he called in. I don't know if I think if it was Quet, people would have recognized his voice. Now I heard Quet voice one time on Stan G's channel. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that sound like him to me. I don't know though. I don't think he did, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Stanley, are you still in the chat?
Yeah. So I don't know. Hey, quit. And that would be a smart time to fly the coop, quit.
To do what?
Fly the coop. Get on now.
What does fly the coop mean?
Get on up out of here. Get on now.
So you telling him to go to jail?
Where you going to
Are you
jail
telling him to
anyway?
run? You telling him to run, to go on the run?
Where you going to jail anyway? Don't matter.
Stanley, I know Stanley. I just saw Stanley post in the damn chat. Maybe he left. They said Stanley ran out. He in the bushes, probably.
Is you standing today or you they were quit today?
I don't think that that's quit. That man called in. That man called in to the show, and it didn't. I've heard Quet's voice on Stan G's channel. I don't know if that sound like him.
Hey, John Walsh can call into the show. I ain't being fooled. A nice disguise, though. Nice to meet you,
Stanley. Stanley cool. He come in here. The people mess with him. He said
Yeah,
yeah. He said yes, and I am his brother. He say he his brother.
yeah, we ain't gonna blow your cover. I'm gonna let you breathe, hey. We're gonna let you stand today. And tomorrow you're gonna be met with Quet.
Stanley, they think that you are Hernandez Govan. They think that you quit. Stanley, they think that you quit. What Cypress do? He called in. He just I don't think he sound like him.
I know, I heard it. That nigga sound just like Quet. Me, I don't know.
He sound like Quet to you?
Yeah, maybe the Coca-Cola had kicked in. I don't know, man. Kind of sound like Quet to me. I'm just saying, boy, I ain't got to sound like Quet. I don't know, man. I could have been wrong. I could have heard him. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. Stanley, they're wanting to know, everybody want to know how your brother goes to court on the 22nd, the 21st or the 22nd. What is his headspace like?
Yeah, we know what the headspace like, but I'm going to be regardless of dude, either way.
Everybody want to know what kind of mood your brother been in, Stanley.
Yeah, man. We know what type of mood killers is. We watch TV every day.
Well, everybody says they've been trying to reach out to him and he won't answer. Vlad says he won't he stopped answering his phone calls. Terrence Gangster Williams says he can't get in contact with him anymore.
That could be a blessing.
Stan G keeps saying though it's gonna be a part two. Stan G keeps saying he gonna get that part two interview.
I ain't gonna lie. If he get a part two to this, Stan G gonna blow the hell up.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie. Stan G get a part two to this. Y'all think that nigga was
Yes, Stan G gonna blow up if he get that part two interview. Stan G funny to me. Stan G said, that's that part two coming up. That part two coming.
That nigga was loud and cut from before. This nigga get part two. You ain't gonna be able to shit him up. He's gonna be so hard. You ain't gonna be able to tell him nothing.
And Stan G, listen, they do a show now called Three Head Monster. I like it. I like listening to a bunch of they all funny to me. Listen, they all funny to me. Stan G, them crazy. They funny. The show is really, it's pretty good. Stan G funny all by itself. Listen, Star Funny, No Love and them, they all crazy, right? So listen, if Stan G was to get that part two with Go Van, Stan G gonna start being down the road. Yeah, you gonna be Stan G gonna be saying, yeah, cause you know I'm the biggest. I'm the biggest. Oh, Cypress, let me take this call. I'm gonna call you back.
I bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, this is. Hold on, y'all. I ain't even put the number up. I ain't even put the number up and people calling in. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Whoever that was, call back in. Hello? I don't know why the phone. Hold on, y'all. I hate that damn. Oh, always acting up. Hold on. Let me get the phone ready. So that was Stanley calling in. They okay. Hold on. I'm rebooting the app. He says Stanley says he get ready to call in. Hold on. Okay, I'm getting ready to call the person back. Maybe this time with my luck it'd be somebody else. Shit.
Hello?
Hey, who is this?
Hey, this is Stan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been posting on the chat. You was asking me was I still here, and I was like, I'm here, Tamara. I said, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
I wasn't hiding in the bushes. I'm not gonna talk about my brother.
yeah,
But
he said he's not gonna talk. He said he's not gonna talk about his brother. Well, Cypress said he thought that you was quit. I told him I had heard your brother's voice on Stan G show. That your voice is.
And I don't know, and I'm not gonna get upset. I mean, because there's no reason for me to get upset. I don't know why people be. I think people just be poking at me just to see where my mind is as far as you know what I'm saying. I don't know, but I mean, like that ain't nothing nobody can do or say to get me upset.
Well, good. Don't let nobody get you upset.
If they think I'm a troll or I'm him or somebody else, I'm not. I'm saying.
Look, they said Stanley. They said Stanley. Yeah. You gonna talk? Listen, Stanley. I was looking at Vlad.
What do I need to enlighten you about, Diane?
They want to know what they want to know how your brother is feeling right before he go to court.
Well, you know, I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, you know, like I'm gonna just let things play out the way that they supposed to play out. And you know, I had another young lady that asked me, how could my brother rest that night knowing what he did? Well, first of all, how do you know what he did? What he's being accused of doing?
Mhm. Well, I don't expect for you to say. Well, I don't expect for you to say anything bad about your brother. I know that's your brother.
And you know, and you know, I've always been respectful, and like I said, I like to just. I'm cool, calm, collected, and laid back, and just chill. You know what I'm saying? I like to tune in and listen, and just, you know what I'm saying? Just, come in and say hello, and just be on chill mode. You know what I'm saying?
You got something playing in the background. You got a feedback.
Yeah, because I'm listening to the live on another phone.
Oh, okay. Well, it's giving. Yeah, it's giving.
I got two phones. I have two lines, two phones. So you know what I'm saying. I operate off two phones.
Okay. Well, you have to turn the volume down on the other one that you was listening to.
I just did.
Look, they said Stanley. They said
you doing all right?
I'm doing really good.
That's good on this Sunday evening.
We talking about well, you know what the topic is. Today is the anniversary of Young. Yeah, so let me ask you something, because I don't ever remember you. How do you feel? Were you a fan of Young Dolph's music?
Yes, I've been knowing about Young Dolph before he even blew up. I mean, he used to cut hair back in Castell. A couple of my partners grew up in Castell. I knew of Young Dolph before he even started rapping. So, he's been I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was in the game. You know what I'm saying? He came in the game with money, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I didn't know him personally, but I knew of him, you know what I'm saying? Because, that was back in '07, '06, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, I've always been Welcome to Dolph World. I bet the real Dolph fans know about Welcome to Dolph World, the Dolph Land and all of that type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I've always been a fan of his music. Did you know about Young Dolph back then?
I didn't. I've been very honest. Like, I started learning about Young Dolph when he passed away. Now, I've had the opportunity to see him one time. He was in Debo's on Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
He was in Debo's, and when I walked in, he was like, can you do me a favor? He was like, little mama, can you do me a favor? If I buy your food, will you listen to my? He was passing out his CDs. That was promotion, and everybody that walked in. After that, he was doing, and before that, he was doing the same thing. I buy your food, listen to my CD.
Yeah. I mean, because that was back when they was in a little plastic thing, had the little CD with the, you know what I'm saying, how they pass them out, But of course they don't do that anymore because, with the internet and YouTube and this, that, and the other. But yeah, I knew who he was before he even blew up. You know what I'm saying? Because, I've always thought that he was a talented rapper and had, great potential and, it can reach great heights. If he, kept at it, and he did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I mean, it's all good though. I'm doing good on this Sunday evening, and like I said, I had somebody that asked me about my brother, and I was like, well, you would have to ask him. Ask him.
Well, they said in all fairness,
he's on Facebook and Instagram.
Is he?
Is he? No questions about him. I'm not saying you, Tamara, but anybody who wants to know, inquire, they need to reach out to him.
Because I don't think your brother would ever want to. Your brother would never want to talk to me.
I mean, why would you say that?
I mean, you've seen a lot of my videos. You see how hard I be going.
But that doesn't mean that he wouldn't want to talk to you. I mean, and I see how hard you're going, but I'm still able to talk to you. I don't take offense to it. I mean, but you're a blogger. Like you doing what you do, and I respect what you do. Ever since I've been tuning into the show, I've always respected what you do. Everybody has an opinion and their thoughts, and they're entitled to them. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it. I get it.
Did you see your brother's? Did you see your brother's interview with Stan G?
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out. I saw it.
So what was your thoughts on it?
I
I was really surprised because, you know, like I wasn't really expecting for him to be, you know, doing any interviews, like, you know, or just talking to anybody because, you know, I just really wasn't expecting that. You know, but I really didn't have any thoughts or opinions on it. You know, I listened and I was okay, you know, I really didn't have anything to say. I know you be tripping on me, don't it?
No, I'm looking at the chat. The chat had me so tickled. Look, they said who you think gonna call Go Van up in here? Ain't no way.
But I'm just saying, it's like, and then I read it. You know what I'm saying? I saw was a guy True. What's his name? True something was down in court recording him. And I'm gonna be honest though, he wouldn't have done that if he was on the street.
I think they just happened to be at court together. I'm gonna tell you something.
He did.
Listen.
He did that because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. He did that because he felt safe down there in that courthouse, but he wouldn't have done that if they was out at the gas station or nothing like that, because he would have got his ass whooped. Or not that camera in his fucking hand.
So you think
that motherfucker out of his hand? I'm just being honest.
Well, I kind of listen. I don't think.
Ask around in Orange Barrel, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he ain't no killer or nothing like that, but I mean, he been whooping motherfuckers all his life, man, with his hands tied behind his back. He wouldn't have done that shit if he was anywhere else in the club or on the streets. He wouldn't have done that. Nobody would have.
I don't think True Results meant no harm, though. I don't think he meant.
I'm just saying, and then he was looking at him like, nigga, what the fuck you recording me for? Nigga, you ain't get up out my motherfucking business. You know, you in this courthouse, that's why I ain't on your ass. And I'm just being honest, I ain't being biased because that's my brother, but I'm just saying, like, for real though. I mean, you know, and people be talking all this shit about him online and shit, excluding you, Tamara, but I'm just saying, like, the people that come into the chat, but they won't say that shit to his face.
Yeah, I tell you.
DM him, talk to him.
Well, I mean, I was looking at, Terrence Gangster Williams, and he said he had been trying to reach out to him. Vlad says that he stopped answering his phone calls. Gangster Williams says he ain't been able to get through to him, so I think that's why people want to.
You talking about the guy, Birdman brother?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That man ain't no head motherfucking matter. It ain't nobody that man don't know. I don't know him.
Who you talking about, your brother?
And before this shit went on, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying though, man, you know, and then, and then I feel like people be getting mad at me and be feeling some type of way towards me because, you know what I'm saying, that's my brother and shit. And I'm like, man, man, you can't take, that shit ain't my fault, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you something. I'm asking you this now. Do you think your brother played any type of role in it?
No.
Why
that man ain't never been no goddamn sent out. That man can make $10,000 off of a straight bet on DraftKings or FanDuel. That man ain't finna take no man's life for no motherfucking $10,000. That man have always been able to get his own bag and run it up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The chat said it's not your fault, Stanley.
And you know what I'm saying? And that man, man, I know it ain't my fault, but it's like, they be asking me, well, how can you brother risk that night knowing what he did? Y'all don't know, you have to ask him, man. You know, man. It was quick. Ask him how can he rest that night? You know what I'm saying? What you asking me for?
So, well,
You hear me?
do you have you and your brother been communicating?
No, I hadn't been hollering at, I hadn't been hollering at him. You know what I'm saying? But no, I ain't been talking to him. You know what I'm saying? I just been.
Well, you ain't. Don't even worry about it. Don't you don't have to
No, it's
say.
cool.
You started stuttering, so you don't have to tell me. Because I was just gonna ask you, how do you feel about what? So, what do you think about? He goes to court, I believe, on the 21st. I want to know what.
On the
How is your what?
22nd.
Okay, the 22nd. How do you feel about it? Like you say, you and your brother are close, and you love your brother and stuff. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about him going to court?
Yeah, because I mean, these are his life, his livelihood is he's got some big decisions to make. Because when he goes to court,
Yeah.
he's gonna tell the judge whether he's gonna take a plea deal or if he's gonna go to trial. Either way it goes, this is potentially get ready to affect the rest of his life. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I am. I am nervous myself because of the charges. You know what I'm saying? Not because I think he's guilty or he did what they're accusing him of doing, but because of the charges that he's facing. And it is not only mind-boggling, but it is nerve-wracking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that's my only brother. Like my big brother. He protected me, provided for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And had my back when nobody else had my back. You know, did more for me than my own father.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, to the family be in this
Was your
situation.
mother? Your mom was a
For him to
single
be,
mother. Your mom was a single parent.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And, for him to be accused of these crimes and facing, what I'm saying, possible life if convicted, it's hurtful, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I don't feel for Young Dolph and his family because, Young Dolph can't come back, but still, just speaking from my standpoint, as
Mm-hmm.
his little brother, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do worry, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Is your mother still with us?
Yeah.
So what has it been like for her then?
I mean, it's been stressful for all of us. It's been stressful for all of us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for her, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I really wasn't even gonna call in tonight, but people, I don't know why people think that. I ain't trying to. I ain't like. This gonna be my last time calling in. You know what I'm saying? It's like
You
I
could
love
call
it,
in if you could call in.
but it. Yeah, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no reason to lie about anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not trying to really just gain a whole lot of attention like that. And it's like, yeah, I'm his brother, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, we grew up together, we came out of the same womb, play video games together, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my big bro, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So do you listen to up? Do you
Yeah,
do
I
you?
ain't big stepper, I ain't, huh?
Yeah, I thought you was
I
big
ain't,
stuff.
this,
Listen,
this,
do you
this,
be a, do you be?
Cypress, this me staying, it's not quit, man.
Listen, do you be listening to other channels?
I really don't. This stuff really don't be popping up on my YouTube channel. To be honest, I only see you.
Okay, so
I'm not even gonna. I'm the only person that I've seen other than you was that dude and Stan G. That's it.
what
But
the?
85% of the time, I would say 90% of the time, I see you when you post on the live. I always get a notification when you go on live.
Okay, your brother a fan of the show?
Huh?
Is your brother a fan of this show?
Not that I know of. Why would y'all communicate with him?
I'm messing with you.
I mean, like, why is everybody afraid to talk to him.
I'm messing with you, Stanley.
No, I know. The people in the chat, especially, why y'all afraid to reach out to him, man? Talk to him.
They says when he was indicated, did you see that comment or did it take you off guard?
See what comment?
No, they said when he was indicated, did you see that coming for him or did it take you off of guard?
Man, it took me off guard. It took me off guard because you know what I'm saying, to the people that know him personally, he's always been a fighter, or he's had conversations and run-ins with people, but he's, not a killer or a sellout. He's always knew how to get his own money on his own and not have to, you know what I'm saying, and just do things to jeopardize other people's lives just to earn $1 or $2. Because, and I'm not being biased just because he's my brother. He is my brother, but I'm just saying, like, because I know him personally. But to the people that do, they know that about him also. But to the people that don't, people who are on the outside looking in, they're gonna think otherwise because they're on the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? They don't know anything about him. But my thing is this: is like, man, y'all want to know all it is about him, but y'all are not reaching out to him.
Well, I mean,
he ain't a monster.
Well, I mean, I can imagine your brother's interviews and stuff are expensive. I don't have no money to pay for no interview.
I mean, he wasn't charged. He was charged you, Tamara.
I don't know. I think
you'd be, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And like you don't, and like I don't take offense to what you blog about and what you speak on. I'm sure you wouldn't either. I mean, you're a blogger. I mean, you're doing what you do. And people have to respect it. They can't get offended because not only are you talking about it, but everybody else is talking about it. I mean, it's plastered all over the news media, the hip hop world, outside of Tennessee, the United States. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get mad because people are talking about it because this is well publicized. I mean, it's a high profile case, so that's why I don't take offense to anything you say as far as your thoughts, opinions, or anything. But I just don't like it when people, like come from me in those chats and just be, like nitpicking with me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. Like just, say hi, hello, how are you, Mr. Gomez, Stanley, or just leave it at that. Don't, You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
saying.
Overall, have you? I'm sure you have because you've been looking at the vlogs and stuff. That's mainly what we vlog about over here. Do you have an opinion about what happened to Young Dolph?
Do I have an opinion about as to what happened to Young Dolph on that day? Yeah, like I told you the last time, I don't know if you remember, but I believe those guys were tipped off about his whereabouts.
When you say, you think somebody told them?
Yeah, because that's too coincidental. How you just so happen to be on your way to Westwood to the turkey giveaway drive, and then you just so happen to see Young Dolph parked in front of Makita's Cookies. That's too coincidental. I mean, that just doesn't happen. I mean, Memphis is small, but around the same time you pull up at the light as soon as he pull up. I mean, so somebody was communicating with somebody.
You think somebody called and told them he was in the air?
In my opinion, I could be wrong and not know what the hell I'm talking about. Don't quote me on this. This is just my humble opinion. But those guys had to have been tipped off. They wasn't that strategic. They wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? And for him, he came from out of town. He didn't even fucking live here.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you know where this man was gonna be? He just so happened to pull up. I mean, you were right there wherever you were, and you saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on. I mean, come on. I mean, that don't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? If it does, tell me. And I mean, I respect it still, but does it make sense to you?
Well, Cornelia says that they were on their way to Westwood, and when they stopped at the light, Dolph and them came clean across the light. Well, I mean, they knew that they were going to be in the
Yeah.
area because they were out there giving out turkeys. But hey, I don't know.
But do you know how far Westwood is from Orange Mound to St. Memphis?
Yeah, because they had because listen, they had decided that they were going to. I don't think they ever thought that they would be able to get to Dolph. I think they had decided that they were just going to settle for his artist. That's why they was on their way to Westwood.
But I wonder why did he put the hit on Young Dolph head if they didn't think that they were going to be able to get to him? Why
Well,
didn't he just say,
I think they
that's a
put the
mystery to
hit.
me?
Yeah, I think they put the. That's why they put a bag on each and every one of them's head. Just get somebody.
Because you know what, Tamara, I didn't hear anything about anybody else. All I was hearing about was Young Dolph. I didn't hear anything about a hit being on any of the other pre-artists. I didn't. If it was, I was unaware of that. But like I just was like, just hearing about Young Dolph.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just mighty strange to me. Like, do you think that's a little bit too coincidental?
Um. No. Hey, I think that
And
somebody could have tipped them off. Somebody could have seen Young Dolph in the area,
it's possible, isn't it?
it's possible that that Castelia and Orange Mountain is right there together. I mean, you have to
Right, we're
understand,
literally next door.
right? You have to understand, like, people have folks that ride for them on both sides, right? Somebody could have said he's in the area, but because the area is so small and they were already in Orange Mound, they knew Young Dolph was hanging around the Castelia area. I mean, if it had been, let's just say, if Young Dolph was from the North Memphis area or the East Memphis area, and they ran across him like that, I would say, yeah, somebody tipped him off, because how did they know he was going to be way from East Memphis in that particular area? But because he was hanging around Castelia, and Castelia and Orange Mound is right there together, basically almost really one neighborhood. I mean, it's congested. It's right there together. Hey, it's easy for people to accidentally run into each other.
I mean, that is a good point, Tamara. And then to top it off, I mean, he did have a car that stood out like a sore thumb. I mean, the camouflage Lamborghini or whatever kind of car that was. I mean, all of his cars was camouflage. So, I mean, that's another point too. So, you do have to, take that into consideration. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I mean, you may be right about it. Like I said, I could be wrong, and I may not know what the hell I'm talking about. But that was just my theory.
Mm-hmm. Well, who do you
But
think, or who do you think
like
would have tipped them off?
I don't know, but I just felt like it was just I don't know because it's like I mean, sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. But like it just as far as you just so happen to just you on your way to you on your way to go and do something to somebody who is affiliated with this person, but then you just so happen to catch them at the other person who you really really want. And it's like, man, like what? Who was he on the phone with? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, who called him? Who was he talking to? Who tipped him
Mm-hmm.
off? Like, that was just what I was. That was what was in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm. They said, Stanley, how do you feel about your niece getting unalive and your brother saying on Instagram that he was sorry for how he brung her up?
How do I feel about it? I feel terrible about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel terrible about it. And what's with the laughing emojis? I don't see anything humorous about this situation.
I don't see
People have
nobody.
been
I don't see
unalive.
nobody laughing.
I see people in the chat laughing. People have people's lives are at stakes here. Their freedom. People have been unalived. There's nothing. We're destroying each other as a community and as a race of people. I don't see what the laughing emojis are about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
but I think she
that's
was
not.
laugh. That emoji, she was laugh. She was laughing. She was responding to a comment that someone else had made.
Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying, and this is a sad situation here. No one wins in this situation here because people are losing their lives and people are losing their freedom at the same time. And we as black men and women and as a race of people, we have to do better and come together and stick together. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like that is something that we have to do.
Mhm.
There's nothing humorous about this situation. Aside all the jokes. Like Diane, Gina. Come on. Let's just, like seriously, you know,
Just a
you know what I'm
rage
saying.
against
I'm all
the
about
machine.
justice. I'm all about peace. I'm all about unity. You know what I'm saying. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying. Like I'm not here. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm a peaceful guy, Tamara. Like I said, I'm cool, calm, collected, laid back. I'm respectful. I do unto others as I want people to do unto me. I respect, I respect people in general, women. You know what I'm saying? Like I always come in peace and with love.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is serious business. This is not, like that's it for me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have to say about that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
so
Like,
I guess you.
seriously.
So I guess you're not gonna tell us how your brother been. How your brother been? Has he been
No, I
happy
can't
or
stop.
sad?
No, I can't. I can't stop you from laughing. But you called my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I came in here to talk to Tamara, not you, Diane.
What? What? Wait a minute. Now, hold on. Diane is one of my moderators now. And she's one of the most respectable people in the chat, and she always has
And I
been.
respect that too. But and I respect that too, and I respect you too. But I just, what I'm saying, like, and I'm not gonna call it, and
And
I'm not gonna
she's been
call
the
your
one in the
name anymore.
chat the whole time stating that it is not your fault. Nobody is blaming you. She's been the main one saying that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just not looking at it. I admit, well, I'm not gonna call your name. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like, I respect that. That I respect your wishes. I really do. I respect everybody in here,
And what she
including
was
you,
doing, she
Tamara. I
wasn't
really
laughing
do.
at your niece. She was laughing at a comment that someone else had made. They were having conversations in the chat. So, like I said, Diane, even in this chat tonight, has always been one of the most respectable ones, and she was the main one saying that we're not going to blame you for what your brother may or may not be involved in. She's always been one of the fair
Okay.
ones.
Okay. Well, I respect that. Like, no, that's, no bad blood. And you're right. I ain't talking about nothing. I ain't talking about nothing. But I just wanted to speak my piece about my brother and about myself, and just call in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I always come in peace with love. I don't have anything against anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she's right. I ain't talking about nothing.
Well, I think, she's offended because she was defending you. And you saw her having a laughing emoji, and it was around the time we was talking about Desto. Maybe you thought that she was laughing at your niece, and she was not at all. Nobody would
Well,
ever.
I apologize. Well, I apologize to her.
Hmm.
I'm man enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I, read too much into it, or just, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It,
you didn't see all the comments because they had been having
it's kind of, it's kind
conversation.
of, it's kind of, it's kind of, it's kind of emotional. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mean to be, but it is. And I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know she was one of your moderators. I mean, even if she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I still apologize because, like you have to give respect in order to get respect, and and it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I know you said that you okay. So you're not going to, because it's me. I wants to know so bad, but
You want to know? You want to know what?
the how you like how your brother feeling about this coming week.
Well, you know what I think you should do.
No, no, no.
Why no?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't feel. I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen?
Mm-mm. Uh-uh. Mm-mm.
I mean,
Stan G seems to have a better relationship with your brother.
but I mean, people developing and people, develop relationships with other people all the time. I think, I don't see any harm in it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you want,
Well,
you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
you've
I'm
been the
not being
one
funny.
coming. You've been the one coming in the chat, so it would just be easy for you to tell us.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I just, and then I come in to, and then, like, even when you're not covering the case, I still come in and, you know what I'm saying, and support what you got going on.
Yeah, that's why I
So
say,
I just,
and we've always been very kind to you. We've always been respectful. That's the reason why, like I said, Diane is good, real good people, and you really single her out. I mean, I don't like that. You single her out. You singled the other young lady out. I think it was Gina that she was talking to. All of these young ladies, nobody has attacked you. That you might have some people, like some of the people that I've seen say something to you, like if they've been disrespected, they probably, I had not really seen a lot of them in my chat. They probably be in the bushes and they pop up, or somebody make a fake page and
yeah.
come in here and say something to you. But my regular people have always shown you respect.
Okay, well, it's all good, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, but you're not gonna tell us how Govan doing. I understand because I wanted to know. Simply because everybody said he started returning their phone calls.
Yeah,
All right,
man,
Stanley.
I'm 41 years old, and
Oh, you reading the chat? You ain't even hearing nothing I say.
yeah, I heard what you said, you know, but I appreciate you for taking my phone call and returning my phone call, and it was good talking to you again.
Okay. All right.
You have a good night.
All right. You too.
All right, be peace.
Okay. Bye bye. Well, y'all, I guess we're gonna have to wait till Friday. I guess everybody gonna have to wait till Friday. I'll be in training Friday, so what y'all gonna have to do is y'all gonna have to send me messages to let me know what happened on Friday. Diane says, I don't give a damn what they say to you in this chat from this point. um, Lorenzo says, Govan got his hand full and they finna hide all that's involved. They said, but a person could take you out just by being his brother. Have you ever thought about that? Yeah, thank you for calling, Stanley. I think Stanley started looking at the chat right as we was talking about his niece and thought that people was laughing at that. As he's talking about Desto. Y'all make sure you all hit the like button. But I was trying to find out for myself. I wanted to, he wouldn't tell me though how his brother was doing. You know how he's what's gonna happen on Friday. And here it says we kept it super respectful, but to be honest, your brother been eating the cheese for quite a spell, and we don't think that's gonna change on Friday. Lorenzo says, Stanley, I know you hate that your brother name being brought up for it's nobody's fault but his, and can't none you do about it. Lorenzo says he believed all those dudes talking. What's up, Big Pressure? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, let me tell you something. Because I'm sitting there listening to this dude. So you asked him, do you think his brother was involved? This dude said no. Somebody better tell Hagerman that, because I don't think he's playing around. Cornelius, I sent you a Facebook message. Cornelius knew about your house, the camera system, everything. Ain't nobody lying that good. I don't care how this dude is. Cornelius told everything, right? He talked about your gambling addiction, your meeting with Juke. Ain't nobody lying that conveniently, see? It don't work like that. So, Stanley, if you listening, your brother is going to prison, my boy. And I'm going to sleep. Good night.
Good night. um Y'all make sure you all hit the like button. Make sure you all hit the like button. I wish I could be able to tell you all or predict what was gonna happen, but I absolutely 100% don't know what's going to happen on Friday. I don't know what's gonna happen. Stanley wouldn't give us. Stanley made sure he kept his lips zipped. Stanley said, I need to reach out to Quit myself and ask him. No, his brother is not getting ready to cuss me out. The Alabama hitter says that's cool, but don't get self righteous on telling us we got to do better. We ain't got M on our report card. Um, Edward says, Tam, you spared his ass. Lorenzo says, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I can tell you that they all getting time for what they did. I guess we'll see. Like I said, I was looking at Terrence Gangster Williams on I think we talked about that this morning on Vlad, and he was saying that he had gotten the whole, I believe he said he had gotten the whole discovery. He had gotten the whole discovery. So and so allegedly Straight Drop's sister had took the money. Did he say Straight Drop's sister went and got the money from somebody at CMG? And Straight Drop's sister got the money from somebody at CMG and then told the authorities that she got the money to pay for the lawyer from CMG. And then, if I'm not mistaken, turned around and said Straight Drop turned around and told them that the money came from CMG. Hey, I don't. That could be believable because Luke Evans was in court, and when Luke Evans pressed Cornelius to tell where his lawyers, who was paying for his lawyers. So So, like I said, mm, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Mm, mm. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments. Mm, I tell you. Y'all, do we have over 100 likes in here? Moderators, do we have over 100 likes yet? Those in the chat, if you hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. Okay, we got over 100. Mr. Parker said, "Hey Tam, can you please stop saying how handsome Straight Drop is? At this point, your male constituency is getting offended." Straight Drop is a kid. Straight Drop is a kid. I don't know why my male constituency would be getting offended. Straight Drop is young enough to be my son. Mr. Parker, you would come in here and say something like that. I mentioned that way early in the show. Now, Mr. Parker is a mess. I saw when you posted that angry emoji on the one of my lives that I uploaded yesterday from earlier this year. He said Straight Drop is not a kid. Well, I mean he's a kid up under you and I. He young enough to be our he young enough to be one of our children, our kid. He young enough to that's what I'm trying to say. I know I'm not saying it right, but he's young enough where trust me, I would never, Mr. Parker, you a hot mess. I would never lust over a little kid like that because I'm sick of you putting the village feeders on national TV. I left because it's Sunday NFL day. Hmm. Look, the Alabama here that says Straight Drop is damn near 30. I wonder if Straight Drop, when he's sitting in jail, by the time he turned, like he's 26 right now. I wonder if by the time he turned 36, is he gonna look back and say, "I really regret what I did." I wonder at what age is he gonna really start having regrets? Cause see, I think a lot of what's happening now, it turns into um they go through a stage of feeling sorry for themselves. Then I think he's at the stage right now where that frustration he's got has turned into anger. Like he's angry right now, and then after that angry phase, it as they get older, it may turn into like remorse. I should not have done that. But I just wonder at what age is that going to kick in? That remorseful age. He angry at the people that he angry. He angry as he been. He been mad. Edward Pie says, "No, he ain't Tam. He a little slow. He think he got back. He think he got back for the homie, for his homie." Oh wow. Mm. Good night, Stanley. I think he's been angry for a minute. Cause remember now he wanted for if he could have just got Cornelius to tell everything, that's basically what he wanted. Um, Edward says, "Joy, you really love God." Stanley, I think you need to apologize to the ladies, and because you Stanley, you really jumped off of the porch. The ladies didn't was not doing anything to you. They still upset. Edward Potts says, "Joy, you really love God." I see. Yeah. Y'all know I'm listening to my old school. That's Fire and Desire, Rick James and Tina Marie. Y'all know I love that old school music for real. I do. I love that old school music. Hilda says it's gonna take a while. He's still trying to be a street ninja. It's gonna take 15 to 20 for him to come around. Uh, letter is that letter VA says he's slow. He's slow. If he still thinks they got his back, he know they don't. Edward says, "I see how you told him good night. It had to be the Lord." No, I think this is I think what happened was we started talking about we started talking about Desto. He got emotional, and when he looked at the chat, he saw Diane laughing emoji, and he thought that Diane was laughing at her, laughing at Desto, but she wasn't laughing at Desto. He says, "I'm glad I turned Ted to the game. Turned it to the game." Sound abused them. Yeah, that's my song. Yeah, them old school songs. I promise you, they be rocking. Yeah, I wish I could show a video, but I don't know how to pull a video up on what I'm using right now. Yeah, rest in peace to Desto. I wouldn't. Nobody was definitely nobody was not laughing at Desto at all. Rest in peace to that young lady. I hate that that happened to her, especially at her age. She was still basically a baby, you know. So, um, yeah, we nobody in this chat is evil at all, and so we would never be laughing at a young lady losing her life, especially the two ladies that was communicating with each other, Diane, and I forget who the other person was. I don't know if it was Gina or Nene. Um, I don't know if it was Gina or Nene, but neither one of them would ever laugh or make fun of Desto losing her life. Ever. Yeah. Did they ever catch the other person? Remember they said that it was two people involved in what happened to Desto? I remember one was arrested. I wonder if they ever catch the other person that was involved. I thought I remember them saying that two people were involved. I don't know though. I can't remember. Mr. Parker. gotta take my clothes. I got my clothes out actually. I need to take a shower. He says, fellas, please refrain from any aggressive or threatening comments in the chat. They will be removed. Diane says, who would laugh at something like that? They're definitely not who I am. I'm insulted to the 100th power. They say, Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker crazy. He said, hitter, the money getter. Hitter, the money getter. Cypress must have fell asleep. I think it's this music that's got me tired. I think it's the music when I start listening to these old school, like LTD, Love Ballad, and all those songs. It really relaxes me out. He says, I was man enough to apologize and they didn't accept it. He said, Tam, you know, here the one of my fave cats in here, solid dude. Yeah. I can tell. I'm tickled because you don't like nobody, Mr. Parker. For you to be saying you like hitter, because Mr. Parker be throwing shade at everybody, but he come here, so you know, Pat Alabama hit on the back, hitter the money getter. Oh, that's all right, I tell you. It was says Mr. Parker and hitter. I respect y'all classroom. Mr. Parker, you don't like nobody. You don't. You throw shade at everybody, especially all the men that come in here. You throw shade at them. One guy you just flat foot ran off. The guy that used to come in here called Fat Truck Man. What he used to call himself, Fat Trucker. You ran him off. He said, I else would hit a Cypress, little T, great face. I ain't rest in peace, Young Dolph. Don't y'all know I haven't seen those two in here? I'm gonna have to send Great Face an email. I'm gonna have to reach out to Rest in Peace, Young Dolph. Go fans say, ain't no sucker yet. What's going on? Stanley, what's wrong? What's going on? Stanley says, I ain't no sucker. What happened? Yeah, Stanley, everybody good. It's all good. He said he no sucker. Nobody treating you like you a sucker. Mm. Oh, well, y'all, this is now you just making stuff up. Uh-huh. It was a guy came here named Fat Man Trucker. He was from out of North Carolina. Mr. Parker ran that man off. Tammy and my younger brother was riding today. He had James Brown playing, made me think about your big oh Lord have mercy. Remember that guy used to come here called Fat Trucker? I think his name was Fat Trucker. He said I ran him off when I put his business in the street. He said how young would I date? You mean what's the youngest a guy can be? I don't know if I would say the guy's older than me. I had somebody just send me a message one day. He's a sweet little guy. He says, Miss T, is 36 too young for you? Stanley, everything cool. I mean, Diane and Miss Gina are both, cool people. I talk to Diane all the time. Diane is a good soul, and so Diane is forgiving, and I mean, we all good in here. Diane would never, ever, ever laugh at Desto ever. It says Pops Sumo. She always used that last name, Mr. Parker. She's always used that name. I wonder whatever happened to those singers like Cheryl Lynn. I'm listening to Encore. See, these are the songs right here. Yeah, tonight was a good show. I shout out to everybody. Tamara, I told you I come with peace and love. Right. I understand. I understand, Stanley. We're not mad at you in here. We're not mad at you. I just wanted you to know that the two young ladies were not I think, at the time we was talking about Desto, you looked down in the chat and because they was having a conversation and laughing, you thought it seems to me you thought that they because you said this ain't nothing to laugh about. You automatically thought that they was talking about laughing at Desto. And they would never do something like that. Mr. Parker is drunk. Mr. Parker, I know Mr. Parker, you've been drinking. When Mr. Parker came in here, the first thing he said was, "Hitter, hitter, the money getter." And in my mind, I could hear him saying it just as loud. Mr. Parker been drinking. Don't talk about my mama, Mr. Parker. Edward says, Sam, I seen the eyes on last spring post. I told y'all Mr. Parker crazy. Mr. Parker been drinking. He said, "Hitter, hitter, the money getter." He came in here. I'm surprised he's saluting Hitter because Mr. Parker don't like no. Mr. Parker don't like nobody. He barely likes me. He barely like me. He don't like me most of the time. No problem, Stanley. Mr. Mr. Parker said he liked the real little T too. He named somebody else too. Oh, great face and rest in peace, Young Dolph. He said, nephew, my nigga. Mm. Oh Lord, he said the real Lil T a young hothead. I've never seen Lil T be hot headed when he in here. I've never seen Lil T go off on anybody when he in here. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I don't know why I did that. I made a mistake of turning the TV off, even though I was enjoying the music. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting ready to get off because I gotta get up and go to training tomorrow. So my first day of training, and I don't be sleepy, but I need to get take a shower and get my clothes and stuff together. Anyways, you guys, I appreciate you all jumping on. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. Okay, today is the 3 year anniversary of his death, and we remember Young Dolph. Long live Young Dolph, the paper route boss. I got that slogan from Coat Figure. Long live Young Dolph, the paper route boss. And he's still making paper routes to his family and artists and friends. The paper, he fixed it where the paper would still be routing um, directly to them, so they still weren't able to stop his paper routes, right? Anyways, you guys, thank you, Mr. Parker. I got training in the morning. I appreciate you all jumping on. I appreciate everybody. Uh, Shout out to yeah, long live the king of Memphis. Shout out to Cypress and Stanley for calling in. All right, y'all. I gotta get my stuff together before I get too sleepy. I love you guys. Y'all have a peaceful night. Talk to you soon.